So, hello everyone, Monton here with my reaction and breakdown and session, I guess, of Death Stranding's release date, reveal trailer. I haven't seen it yet, and we're gonna break down each scene, because I know people have, probably 1,000 people have already react to it. There's also be a reactor, but it's probably be a long video, but I will try to break down what I think is gonna be gameplay mechanics, so on, right? To do my best to assume that stuff. I'm pretty good in this stuff. And do I have a Kojima game story? I have one actually. I usually have, I know some people work at the company a little bit and so on. I usually have some kind of game development stuff. But anyway, so the story I have with Kojima, I never met Kojima, but my former boss really hated Kojima. He really hated him. And before you say, oh, what's the mean? My point here is that my boss was evidently very, very wrong. He was factually very wrong on what he wanted to do with the project I was working with. And so I know for a fact that guy that told me that Kojima is a bad person, I know for a fact that he was wrong about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. He costed the company millions. So I know that he was very, very wrong. And him then saying that Kojima was a horrible person, I'm like, wait a minute. Kojima is probably a great person. Yeah. So I'm taking it all. It's kind of like my enemy is my friend, right? If my, not my enemy, but you know what I mean. Like if that guy that I know is like he has no idea what he's saying here. If he say that guy is a bad, it's like no, probably the opposite. Probably the opposite. That's my take on the Kojima. But he talked about it a lot. So he met him several times. They worked together at a game a couple of years back. Yeah, and he talked about it probably 4 or 5 times. Mentioned how much he dislikes him, and honestly, even before some of the stuff that he didn't plan and that read them fail on the game I worked with this guy, even before that, I was like, already a year before, I was like, I don't know, because you say a lot of stuff, and I don't really trust your judgment on what we're currently doing. I'm just like, no. And then a year later, it's like, oh yeah, here you cost us like $3 million. Like, okay, yeah. You're probably wrong about that too. That's my take on it. But anyway, let's start watching the trailer, and I will probably pause a lot and try to break. I will try to break it down. Yeah, I want to break it down. But anyway, let's start. Oh, okay, that looks kind of disgusting. But it's a baby, but it's scary. But I heard that the baby is going to be important. This is probably from the baby's eyes, right? From the baby's perspective. Okay. So Man Mikkelsen is Danish, right? So he's clearly gonna be the evil guy because Danish people are evil. And yeah, we don't do sound because I know if we do the sound. This is probably fine, but it's gonna be some music probably later, and then there will be claimed, and it will be. I won't bother with that. So we used to do without sound. Even if it's fair use and so on, yeah. But I was too lazy. Okay, so that's the first time you see. Oh, that was, that was too slow. Okay, that was the first time you see readers. I love him Walking Dead though, yeah, it's a great cat. And of course, I wanted the Silent Hill game. I played it, yeah, the PT, it was really good. Okay, this is interesting though. Let's pause it, the first pause here, okay. He's playing this character Sam. This is interesting because he seems to be living in this apocalyptic post-time, so kind of, yeah, America's been destroyed and so on. But clearly here, which might be in the past and before everything got ruined, unless you can like time travel or whatever. This is talking to, I assume, the president, right? Yeah, so I think this is interesting because he seems to be talking to literally, just straight up the president. This is probably the White House, right? And the flag to the right is interesting. Can that be like a future flag, some kind of unification flag of some sort? Because it's an American flag, right? And then it's the US flag. And then it's like, what is that flag? You can read some letters on it. I think that's probably going to be something like in the future, maybe United States of the whole world, or maybe just like America, right? I mean, like Canada, America, Mexico, the whole thing. Like if mission where it's like they've created a country that controls the whole America, both South and North America. Basically, North America conquered. Basically, US have conquered South America. Yeah, something like that maybe. But still, that's probably the president, right? Talking to her, yeah. Yeah, so the... Oh, yeah. It's dying. Yeah, he's surviving in his post-time world here. Birds are dying. Some kind of shadow something, yeah. Yeah, might be like a Fallout thing. Like he survived alone in the... Ooh, interesting. Yeah, might be in prison somewhere. Yeah, so also this they definitely would be claiming if I play the music here, yeah. This is the obviously the main gameplay. You walk around. Oh, here's a ladder. I heard about the ladder. It's a mega ladder thing. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. So let's stop here for a bit then. So I think this won't be the only gameplay, right? But this is clearly a part of the gameplay to explore the world. And is it open world? Already there, yeah, the game is a mystery, right? We don't even know it's open world or not. Like it, I don't think it's open world. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be just a very big world. A very big world. It reminds me, I have to say, primarily right now here, of this part, of Sea Horizon at Dawn, right? Which is a great game, I love the game, yeah, it's a great game. And in that game, right, you travel around, and also it is like, some kind of destroyed future world, and it's like a lot of mountains and woods and so on, yeah. The finding stuff like that. So you're probably exploring with him for some reason. And I want to throw it out there. Maybe the baby is in the red thing. The red thing is obviously his toolbox. So maybe the baby is with him all the time. Is in the red. I mean, I'm throwing it out there. Is the baby inside that red toolbox? Who knows? Who knows? But it seems to be. I think it's not open world entirely. I think it's like a massive world, big world, right? But actually, still is probably what is for this. Probably it might have random stuff on it, but it's not. I think like the plants and so on, maybe. But that being said, it seems to be that you can travel kind of however you want, right? Like you want to use the ladder thing here, want the amp over here. So it seems to allow you to kind of travel on all the different parts of the world, right? That you can kind of interact with, so to speak. So it's very open in that sense. That's my guess on it, honestly. I don't think it's gonna be like an endlessly. I don't think so. I think it's still like a story-driven game. So you probably have to find specific stuff and so on. That being said, probably be a lot of loot stuff to find, random stuff and so on. Okay. Yeah, like this thing. You can see the thing over there at the brown. Yeah, you want to go there. This. So a lot of this like exploring. Okay. And yeah, so famous actors, of course. So now we're back to, I guess, when the world is falling down. Homo Demon, separatist group. Whoa, okay, this is looking at the bad guy. With another okay, golden mask to another mask, okay. And he can teleport, this might be his wife maybe, I don't know, love interest, feels like it's gonna be some of his. So that's what in the past? Not out exploring. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Interesting. So it feels like there is maybe still civilization, right? Like America has fallen, the whole planet maybe has fallen. There's still civilization there. That scene is very likely a flashback scene, though, right? Like his love interest getting killed off, something like that. But there still have some organization out there, yeah. Some kind of evil humans out there hunting him, I guess. That's probably what we're trying to avoid there. So the game mechanic we saw there is probably them trying. You have to put avoid their, circus and so on. Yeah, that kind of thing, right? And if you were spotted, maybe those towers spot you and so on. You have to like, avoid being there. If you aren't, they will come after you. Yeah, that's my guess on the game mechanic wise. You have to avoid their searchlights or whatever. That kind of typical thing. So here they are, yeah. So can you fight? I guess you can't fight. I guess you just run. Oh yeah, try to capture you. Oh, they drop some loot in it, but yeah, so you. Interesting. So you can fight. Okay, so you can fight to some degree at least. There's no weapon that I see, but okay, you can pick up kind of random. Okay, BTs. So something comes in the rain then. I think there could be a baby nothing, I don't know. Yeah, that's the baby, yeah. So you has the baby with you. The past. It's gonna be time travel, right? It's gonna be time travel, right? Yeah. The people say in the past, it's probably gonna be time travel. Yeah, like I think it's gonna go back and forth between like this, the probably like before the fall and he's living. Yeah, currently we're living in kind of destroyed country, right? But he's probably gonna go back to like before everything got destroyed, meeting the president, something like that, and maybe he survived by being in some kind of fallout bank. I don't know, but if you have this elevator thing, they travels up on, right, and so they're closing the door. So I'm thinking maybe he's from the past and kind of frozen down or something like that in there. Yeah, do my guess, but there has to be time travel in the game, definitely. Probably, or at least like flashback time travel. Yeah. Okay, well here comes some kind of monster in the rain then. Some kind of shadow people. Probably some kind of effect that happened to the world being destroyed. Some people transformed into shadows. Okay, I guess you can't breathe. He's hiding his mouth there, yeah. Oh, and it hits you, the world turns dark. Shit, and they will pull you down into hell. This is crazy though. So if you pull down, you have to travel like that or something? Maybe that's like a time. Okay, and now he's back. It's a kind of World War III thing. There's like a shadowy tank there, yeah. The connection to like the past. Whoa, here is messing up in there. Okay, so this is very, yeah. It's so confusing, honestly. It's like, so he probably time travels back to like World War III, which is probably where like the world got destroyed, right? So in World War III, it's called World War III. It could be World War IV, who knows? But let's say it's 3, so it's recent time frame. I assume this is the war that breaks the planet, right? And probably turns people into those shadowy creatures to begin with. But if this is positioned for you saw though, it means that if you're captured by the shadow people, you're then pulled down into World War III. But actually, in a way, that kind of makes sense to me. Like there are probably people that are murdered and murdered, but like there are people that are killed in the war, and their bodies are like lingering because they got killed by some kind of weird new weaponry. And then they pull you back to this like their tormented event or something. So they pull you back into like the into the past in a way, but also could just be like their memories. Maybe you aren't actually in the past. Maybe you just are kind of like reliving the war through these like shadow people that that died in the war. Because the thing that takes me out from it being that's a time travel because he still has that suit on him. He has that tech stuff on him. So I don't think that he's like, oh, I remember when I was in the war 20 years ago. I don't think so because he has that suit on him. So he's either time traveling back to the war, maybe trying to fix the war. That I could see could be the game though. Like the goal is to through time travel and like to fix the world, right? To stop the war, or maybe at least like stop this like super nuke that kill everyone. Yeah, to stop something that destroyed the planet. That could definitely be the main story's goal in the end with the baby somehow. Or you get the baby back, time travel the baby, something stopping the termination of humans. That could definitely be a thing. But otherwise, still though, this is not. It could be that he has his stuff anyway, but if that is still some memory thing, yeah. Even if it's just a memory, but it's because he has his own the future stuff on him. I don't think he's remembering his life in a way. It's more like actual time travel, or again them pulling you down into their to the future, yeah. But the gameplay is interesting though. Thinking more, but the gameplay though still seems to be that you can't really fight it much. No, he's like moving in this war, right? He's hiding behind the tanks. In the gameplay, you're still kind of stuck in this World War III setting without having so much weaponry and so on. So the gameplay still seems kind of similar to what we saw earlier, but yeah, you can't try to escape this guy. You can fight them, but you also jump on your bike to escape them. Similar here, he's just trying to kind of not get hit. He's trying to reach some kind of goal in the past, not really trying to interact and like fight with the arms and so on. So he seems to be. It definitely has that, of course. I mean, it's supposed to be. I wouldn't say Silent Hill it's a mix between that and of course Metal Gear Solid, sneaking and so on. But generally, it reminds me of many horror games, Clock Tower and so on as well, etc. Where you are kind of weak, right? Where the main character isn't really strong. You can't. It's not like Devil May Cry. You like bam, 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 bam. Yeah, it's more like you kind of like have to avoid stuff. Can't really fight the demons. Have to kind of hide in the shadows. I think a lot of the gameplay comes to that sneaking or avoiding detection and so on. And the war asks to be like that. So even this is very different than fighting those like new modern evil humans. It has a kind of a similar theme to it, like not engaging overly much. It probably still can fight, probably the weapon and so on. And of course the gameplay might just only show us the stealth part, sneaking part, and it actually has a lot of fighting gameplay or like shooting, FPS or whatever, third person shooting, I don't know. Oh yeah, so it's kind of, I think it's like basically their memories, right? Okay, now it's a little more. Damn it! What I said there. No, but I still think that what I said, as I said too, is like it's probably different game parts, but as you said there, it's probably mainly sneaking around, or I feel again it's more like, as I said, it's a two different game parts, right? It's gonna be the sneaking around thing, and it's also I said it, but third person shooting. It's gonna be a little bit of that too, right? So it's gonna be two different kind of. But again, like when you're trying to avoid the shadow people in the forest there, I think a large portion is going to be that sneaky gameplay, the spy gameplay, like MGS gameplay, and then you're going to also have this shooting gameplay. But I don't know, it's probably going to be a large portion is sneaking. To the past somehow. And there he is. Oh, a broken baby, Okay, some kind of data guy. That thing, the kind of the Indian catcher, Does it feel kind of his... Oh, burning a body? Someone stuck on the... Okay, here's the baby is trying to recover, The baby is obviously very important, but let's carry with him the baby. So many weird like storytelling. Say people stuck about on rocks, people burning. So very hard to say what's happening. But this is all story parts though. I'm not super interested in. I think that I think that she might be the one in the. I'm wondering, is this either his girl or is that the? This she comes off as kind of the president character, like she's the first lady president or like the first female president. She kind of comes off as that for me. We saw someone, of course, in the hospital, or the hospital in the White House, I guess, but in the hospital bed. But this could be her before she was like weak and injured or something, sickness. I'm thinking that. I don't know why. She's not the same character they were capturing in the first scene. She looks more like her, but of course, before she had maybe had cancer or something like that. That's my guess. I think it's her, probably. This is interesting. Oh, this is interesting. So this is a lot of people just walking to the shore. He's being pulled away though. This seems to be a lot of interesting things here. That the whole, again, right? People are somewhat connected. So people died in this war, I guess, or something, and they are still like their souls, something, are connected to the horrible events. That seems to be very important for the game. This is also, I think, again here people are turning into the shadow people on that. There she is, maybe corrupted. Oh wait, that's interesting, because here he is carrying like a human instead of on his back. Very interesting. Could that be the baby has grown up? I can picture the baby being, this could be the baby going up then. Interesting. He's clearly carrying a human body. Also could be used to capture someone, or maybe a dead body. Because there was a scene earlier, back a bit there. There was that scene earlier where they're like burning. I think it's coming here, right? After the baby, See, so that looks very much like the thing he was carrying, right? So it's probably what he's carrying there actually. It's the same orange suit too, and the bridges. And this thing here on his emblem there. The bridges, it's like the United States too. It's like a spider net kind of thing going on there. It's like a spider net over United States, think about it. But that is probably what he's carrying in that scene we were there. Yeah, and you see it again, there's like the spider thing. Some readers, of course. Mix and almost evil, Danish. Yeah, and she's hard, man. Die hard, man. What is that? Ooh, that could be a. Yeah, see, she's both probably still a bit, yeah. And also kind of monster. Because they're clearly fighting Mad Mikkelsen here, so they're gonna fight. He's clearly a bad guy, but. Yeah, and she's a love interest. She's a love interest. Yeah, she's a love interest. Oh, that baby looks like a bad baby again there. Interesting. That baby there looks now like the other baby with, like a doll's eye instead of the actual eye, right? Okay, she started something with BTs. Was it black people? I think the shadow people, yeah, the blackish. Yeah, I think the BTs are those like shadowy black figures, the dark figures that that's Strand. Whoa. Probably called Death Stranding because the Death are trying to kill him, right? Other side, yeah. I guess he can control him maybe. Helicopter sound, okay. That was nice. It's like, yeah, that was a nice touch to it. Yeah, okay, it is. Okay, this is bad. Like a zombie soldiers? They look more like zombie skeletons. Yeah, he has like taking over some old undead warriors here. Interesting. Yeah, that's coming out this year. Possibly best game this year, yeah. And it's being pulled down, I guess, because it's like batting in this, I don't know, dark water thing, yeah. Yeah. More apart from the future, tomorrow is in your hand. It's either, I guess, your or the baby's, right? Yeah, the baby. Even the moon. Going to the moon too? Let's look at the baby again first of all. What's to say the left in there? Chess and showing lock is tight. But I'm thinking there might be different babies though. So okay, so one thing I wanna guess is that baby is actually you, maybe. Yeah, Mad's younger, right? I think that could be you. And the reason why you are even alive here running around is actually more like maybe that baby was like you crafted in there. That's why you can be alive in the future with solid humans. Maybe there could be a thing there. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I think the whole thing, like that Stranding, the whole idea that it's called that, is probably because the death is still everywhere, right? So whatever happened in that war, besides we call it World War III, yeah, what happened in that war made people turn into these shadowy figures, right? And they pull you down, and it's to pull you down into the war. That's how you time travel back in there. So you probably aren't really time traveling. It's more like you're reliving their memories, and you probably have to do that a few times to clear some parts, right? I would guess that narrational wise, you probably have to go into their world for several reasons, but one reason is probably to figure out some truths, right? I want to guess that, yeah, it's probably to figure out some, well, why did this person shoot this person? Well, like, if I go into this war, I can actually see, 20 years in the past and like, oh, this is the betrayal scene. Like, yeah, you probably have a lot of that. and on the same time you have, so that's one thing you have to fight with in the game, and then you have the other part where you're like escaping kind of like the humans that are still alive, I guess, kind of the evil humans are trying to kind of control the little left, right, and you are trying to, I guess, save the world for some reason. Maybe I can see it being, I think it's either two different, or maybe three, I guess, but the two main things, right? Typical apocalyptic world. I would see either one, chasing the past, saving the world, right? Saving the world that we have right now. The other one I could see is, what is pretty reasonable, is that maybe this is the only baby alive left. Maybe this is the first human born in ages, and you have to take this baby somewhere to, you know, show human to some other lab so they can make more humans. It's kind of a similar thing with, like, we have this cure for something, you have to take the cure to point B, right, to mass produce the cure. So that actually the baby could be definitely be like, we have to take the baby to one particular point in the world so the baby can, so they can make more babies. That could be, this is very likely, but otherwise I think it's maybe saving the current world, yeah. And it's kind of maybe what he's saying here. He's saying, like, if we save the current America, we still have the BTs, right? The BTs are these, like, shadowy figures, I assume. So he's still saying that, I think, well, if I do this mission and we get more babies or whatever, right? Or maybe some cure, whatever he's having to move from one point to another, but it clearly has it going for it, I think. It's exploration there. Whatever he has doing with that, he's saying that, well, whatever, if I do that, the world is still screwed because it's covered with this, yeah, the nightmare creatures. So it's like, it won't help us anyway. We just kill everyone. So it's probably something like that. But it also could be that he's trying eventually to fix what happened. But I don't think so, because the time travel seems to be not real, right? You have time travel in the sense that you're pulling you back to their memories. It seems to be happening more like that. You still have to probably defeat their memories, because otherwise you die. That's probably how it works. They pull you down, and if you, it's kind of like going into hell, and if you can defeat the hell's gate, you can leave hell again until next time you pull out of hell. So, and I mean, you see him in the end, they're kind of being covered by the dark, the kind of black water thing, right, covering him. And that probably means that if that happens to you, you're thrown into the world, and it's kind of like fighting the black water. And if you can defeat the black water, ergo it being inside that world, defeating whatever memory you see, the water will go away from you. I think that's kind of where they kind of into your mind, right? And if you can defeat their horrible memory, they kind of release you. That's probably how it works. So I think that's it pretty clear, yeah. So can you save the world in the past? Maybe, I don't think so, because you probably fake time traveling. But whatever, this is a story. Let's play the gameplay a bit. As I mentioned earlier, the gameplay has three elements then. Three major elements, right? So the first one, the one that people kept saying all the time, I'm trying not to do the finger. Yeah, the first one is how was it? The exploration, right? Yeah, typical exploration gameplay, typical going around, trying to find objects, probably be some achievements, finding all the stuff, right? And so on. Doing the typical stuff, yeah. Climbing on the mountain, getting some item there, climbing down there, rappelling down some holes to find some item, right? You know, as we see in so many other games, right? Like I mentioned, aesthetic-wise at least, it might have been most of Zero Hours in the Dawn, but of course Last of Us and so on, right? That gameplay. And you have that ladder thing, and you likely have other thing like the ladder, maybe some kind of rope you shoot over cliffs. I think that was doing that, at least they didn't show that, but I think they were gonna do. Then there are other ropes, and what more could you have? They mentioned the moon. Maybe going to the moon. Maybe the moon is the end of the game. Exploring that instead. Maybe you are on the moon. Everything's fake. Yeah. No, but you're probably exploring that, right? And as I mentioned earlier, I don't think it is open world. I don't think it's, I mean, in the sense that you can just walk and walk and walk and it never stops. And that's kind of just your world generating. I think you are exploring like America, but it's huge. It's just a massive, you know, world, and it's very open. More, I would say, in the sense that you can climb everything, you can jump on everything. Seems to be very open to what you can touch and so on. So that's it's very open world, because you seem to be able to kind of grab everything and kind of you kind of just touching everything and climbing and so on. So it's probably gonna be a lot of random stuff though. It's my guess that it's a lot of random elements to these worlds. Like I think the plan is gonna be the same for every game file. So we won't like randomize the planet. The planet is gonna be some kind of post-colonial United States, but there probably gonna be a lot of random events, right? Random items, random stuff to find, and so on, probably. But also a mix of that and actual hidden like story part and achievement stuff and so on. So probably the mix there. Oh, so weird. So we have that thing, and that's gonna be, I don't know, a large part of the game. Seems to be that all the previous trailers pretty much also have shown that all the right. But I don't think that's gonna be the main gameplay thing. There's probably at least a third of the gameplay. Yeah, maybe more. And then we have the sneaking thing, right? And the sneaking thing I see having two different elements. As I mentioned, we're gonna have it in the past thing where you have to just kind of avoid conflict during the World War thing. You have to use avoid attacks, avoid bombs, just kind of get to from another place where you're very very vulnerable, I guess. But it's very like the Metal Gear Solid sneaky thing. I think that in that gameplay, and you also have the gameplay where you see the spotlights and you see them fighting these people. So I think that in a similar way, it's going to be the typical gameplay element where you have to avoid being detected, right, by different stuff in the future. So it's also going to be kind of a sneaky thing. And then also the third part is when you're trying to avoid the shadow things, because he could pull down there, but I'm sure you can avoid them, right? So that's the third thing, because he activated something that kind of gave him like a vision over with the wall. You could really see that well in the like a kind of heat vision thing, so you could see them much more clearly. And that reminds me again of like both Batman, Zero Dawn, so on. Right? We can have the heat vision goggles to kind of see where they're moving around and so on. Yeah, so I think that is definitely gonna be a thing too. And that is again another stealth sneak game mechanic. So a lot of stealth mechanics definitely as well. And then of course the third gameplay, which in my opinion actually was the least interesting gameplay. It was only one scene of that, and that was when he was shooting with a machine gun, right? That to me looked at the least interesting stuff, in my opinion. You kind of went in there in some kind of in the war, I guess, and he shot at someone, right? You probably have to do that to defeat bosses and so on. So it probably has an actual like third-person shooter gameplay elements when you're fighting like Mad Mikkelsen or whatever, right? And you're fighting other evil Danish people and so on. You're fighting those people. Yeah, it probably has some kind of that. But I think that's gonna be least of the gameplay. They didn't show it more than one scene. Well, yeah, maybe they did see there Pelle was guarding him. That probably won't be that much of that. I think you have a lot of tools. That's why it's like a third person to in a way, because instead of just having like I have the FPS here and avoid an FPS, yeah, it's more like you have that gun, but you can probably put some traps out. You can probably use that gearbox to do different stuff, right? So I think in the battles, or I hope so at least, it's gonna be a little more also little spy sneaky style stuff where you like place a bomb maybe, place some kind of gear, some kind of trap, some kind of whatever, right? Booby traps or some kind of caltrops, whatever. It's probably to that even during the battle, as a boss kind of thing. It seems to be that you have this propeller thing you can guard yourself, probably some shields. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a little more like that. Not just like more very tool based, I believe. And it's probably inventory space out too, right? So you have to. Do you want to be able to explore a lot, or do you want to have some stuff on you ready to fight? Because you saw when they attacked, you just gotta escape them. But maybe you can go around with much more gear on you, so you can fight better, or prepare better to fight traps and so on. But then you can't have a ladder on you because it takes space, right? So I think that's gonna be one thing in the game where you have to, manage your inventory or manage your gearbox thing. Probably, do you want to be ready for fight or to explore? I think that's gonna be one of the big things. And as you saw again, as I mentioned with the whole vision thing, you probably also have gear stuff to improve your stealth mechanics, right? Or detection mechanic, or maybe better sneaking and so on. One thing I wonder about that we haven't seen that, but I don't know. We have some kind of character development tree, and I hate saying that word because it's such an obvious thing, but like talent tree, because it's the most obvious thing ever, right? The most common thing, even I don't think it's the best way of using character development, but maybe would it fit this game? Maybe it really has the typical. Yeah, like Spider-Man and so on. Do you want to be able to do better tricks and explore, or do you want to be better fighter and so on? Maybe. I don't think it will fit overly much. I think it's probably gonna be more gear dependent. Like you find new stuff and you can build and improve new stuff, weaponry, and also generally what you can create and or use. I think it's more like that. Probably. I think the character is maybe. We haven't seen anything of that yet, at least. But I think they're gonna be more like you get some stuff you can improve that or you know, oh, you can exchange different weapons, or maybe build some extra stuff in them and so on. More like that probably. So you kind of do, I guess, character development, but it's more like, you know, gear, yeah, improving your armor and so on. So probably something like that, or at least that you have, as I mentioned, that you have probably like 20 different stuff. You can only carry 5 of them, so to pick different combinations. So I think that's gonna be kind of that strategic gameplay, you know, between the battles, between exploration, something like that. But yeah, that's kind of it. A mix between, I think, mainly stealth and exploration with some combat. But I think the combat again is going to be a little more focused on like using stuff and items and so on. More than just like running around shooting. Now I think that's going to be the game. They only had one scene of that. Only one scene where he was shooting and stuff. And I think that kind of shows you that, yeah, that's going to be a part of the gameplay. But you also probably can just go around and like build a trap right and like some kind of tripwire and fasten that, and that wouldn't surprise me at all if they have that stuff going, because you keep going into that past thing with the box on you, right? What's the point of having that big box on your back if you just like carry your machine gun? I don't believe so. So I think it's gonna be more on that. I hope you like the breakdown analyzation of it. I don't have too many insider notes there. The one guy kind of works there, yeah, Code Production. So I don't have any inside information really, but that's kind of it. Hope you like the breakdown, guys, and I appreciate the like button, subscribe button, so on, guys, and yeah, see you in the next video.